I want to talk about 5D. I know it's not anything that has any practical application. It probably doesn't cure anything. But I feel like I need to make kind of a diary entry for this one instead of giving you information, even though I feel like not many people are going to like this one. I've just been having strange things happen to me, my whole life, but since 2011, I've been grappling with, and this is such a loaded term, but I don't know what else to call them, visions. They might be metaphors. I don't know what they are. But I'm trying to figure them out because since 2011, they just keep increasing and increasing and increasing. And maybe it's a neurological disorder. I don't know. Maybe I got hit on the head too much as a kid, but I have been having these very powerful visions happen to me. A sort of a layered experience, if you will. Building on top of other strange experiences, building on top of other strange experiences. And yeah, I mean, it could seem psychotic to a lot of people, but I'm in my body when it happens. I'm fully aware that something extraordinary is happening to me, and I know that it's not normal, and I know that it's not my reality. It's stuff that's imposed upon me. It's stuff that is being sent to me. It is not stuff that I'm imagining. It's very real. I mean, maybe my brain is doing something neurologically to make me think that I'm having visions when in fact it's just some neuro stuff kicking up. Maybe the wires are screwed up. I don't know. But I'm seeking answers just as much as everybody else. And I don't know everything. And I'm just trying to impart what it's like because it keeps happening. And it hasn't been bad necessarily. It's just weird, even for me. And lately, it's been good, increasingly. They happened once in a great while in 2011. And then there was sort of like a dormancy period. And prior to that, it was just recovered memories that were horrific, that I don't even know if they were real memories. I don't know if I was being manipulated or not. I mean, suffice it to say, even there can even be good manipulations, I think. So if I use the word manipulated, maybe it's a good kind of manipulation, to stretch your wings, as it were. But I have these things happen to me, and even though some of them are lovely and some of them are horrifying, it's very alienating and very lonely because the few times I've tried to explain to people what my visions were, especially if they were in the visions, there's just complete bafflement from the other person, or no understanding, or it had no reality for them. So it was very isolating trying to explain it to people. So maybe through the prism of a camera lens, I can distance myself from it a little bit more in my confessional, and maybe it'll make sense. I don't know. But increasingly, the visions are good. They're not bad. Maybe I'm just deluding myself, but I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to something that's helpful, not hurtful. But what they are, I don't know. One of the visions was blatantly religious. I mean, it couldn't get any more religious. It's like a waking dream almost. And that it is very symbolic. I mean, I'm willing to put my 2 cents in that it could just be metaphors, but I don't understand if it's my brain working a certain way, why it would just kick in 2011 in that manner. Because they're not memories, and they're not entirely literal either. I mean, they do have a metaphorical quality or a sort of visual example of sort of like what a teacher would be giving you as a metaphor. And they're very poetic, and they're very emotional, and they're very beautiful. And I can only surmise that I am simultaneously going from one state of existence into another. And I liken it to, this is a bad example because he seems to be losing his mind, and or highly dissociative, and or suffering from complex post-traumatic stress disorder from being I think he was a prisoner of war in Dresden, but this would be the character in Kurt Vonnegut's novel Slaughterhouse-Five, who simultaneously, he's living in 3D, in his 3D reality post-World War II as this normal person, and then he has this rich inner life where he's supposedly living with this woman on Venus or Mars or something, and she's his wife, his space wife. I can't remember the guy's name, but the main character of Slaughterhouse-Five. So he's having this bifurcation, this split of realities. And it's viewed as sort of the ultimate in escapism and the ultimate in dissociation. So I don't want to kid myself here, but I don't think what I'm experiencing is that. But I do feel like I am simultaneously living 2 lifetimes at the same time, one in 3D and one in this existence of whatever you think becomes reality instantaneously. It's thought manifestation, only it's on overdrive, and it's all day, every day now. Whereas before, it was just every once in a while, and it was a delightful place to dip your toe in. But right now, it's like there are days where I feel like I'm kind of losing my mind. And I hope I'm not. I'm not under an inordinate amount of stress. I'm kind of just moving forward. My life is good otherwise. But the only thing that accelerated this was a number of Kundalini rising experiences that I've had for the last couple of years. And each time that would happen, I would feel like I was rebirthing or coming into a new reality. And it's so hard to describe without sounding like I'm completely stoned out of my mind. But I feel a need to try and explain it, and it's so hard to explain. It's so hard if you're not directly experiencing this thought reality. And it feels like it's slightly above me, but it's still a part of me. So it's kind of like how my world is if I were having an outer body experience, except I've had outer body experiences as well, and it wasn't as concrete as all that there were other elements at play, that it was reality creation, as opposed to being outer body, you're observing and things are happening, but it's not the same thing. So maybe I'll do a part 2, I don't know, to try and describe it a little bit more. Maybe it's boring, I don't know. If you guys are bored by it, sorry.